Okay, folks, welcome to another edition of the Carolina Sports Guy. On today's video, I'm going to be focusing, because we haven't really talked much about these Carolina Hurricanes, but we got some news. Andrei Svechnikov signs an 8-year, $62 million deal. He's going to be with the Canes for a long time, folks. Before we get into today's content, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Pound that like button. Make sure you hit that bell notification, be notified of future content on the Hurricanes, Carolina Panthers, Charlotte Hornets, and major college sports in North and South Carolina. And folks, leave me some comments. I love the dialogue. Okay, folks, I was chomping at the bit because there's not really a lot of Hurricane news, and it's probably been, I don't know, a couple of weeks or more since I've done a Hurricane video. But I thought that I would kind of just clean the room up and tidy up and just mention a couple things. And the big news that got breaking, and I could have done this in a 2 or 3 minute video, but I tried to do them a little bit longer. So I just wanted to kind of give a shout out to Dundon and Don Waddell for signing Andrei Svechnikov this 8-year, $62 million deal. Now, it makes sense now letting Dougie Hamilton go, because if we'd have gave Dougie Hamilton anywhere near what New Jersey paid for him, we wouldn't have been able to get this deal done with Svechnikov. Remember, he's 21 years old. Dougie Hamilton's got this 8 or 9 year deal with New Jersey. They might regret it, after a few years. I think they're going to like what they get the first 2 or 3, but I think they're going to be trying to get out of that contract with the last 3 or 4 years or more. And this kind of reminds me of Skinner signing with Buffalo. He did real well that first year with him. He got a big contract, and then they were dying to get out of it. It cost them a lot of money, and it just shit sucks to bed for them, whatever you want to say. So I think it was a smart move letting Hamilton go, even though he played well for us, and getting Andrei Svechnikov in here. Now, I hated to see Fogle go. We talked about it before, but we're getting a defenseman, Ethan Bear, from Edmonton in return. And being that we lose Hamilton, Bear comes in. No, he's not the same type of defenseman, but he is a top-notch two-line defenseman. If he's not on the first line, he'll be on the second. And I think that covers some ground to make up for Hamilton. Geekie, I bring him up because I really go back and look now. When we signed Geekie to a 1-year contract, I think we wanted to keep him longer and see how he developed, like when we brought Fogle along like we used to do. But Seattle scooped him up on an expansion draft, and I think it messed our plans up, because I think the smoke screen was, as much as I like Jake Bean as a defenseman, I don't think our coaching staff was that sold on him, and I think they were hoping Ron Francis in Seattle would have taken Bean, and it would have let us keep this forward of Geekie on this roster longer. When they took Geekie, I think they already had it in their mind to move on from Bean, and that's why we traded him to Columbus. I hated to see him go, but it's what it is. Now, the goalies, I know we've lost Nedeljkovic and Mrazek, which didn't concern me too much, and even Reimer, that really didn't concern me. And we bring in a couple of guys here. We have to wait and see policy on this to see how it goes, because if you really go back the last couple of years, our weakest position has been goalie. So even if we're blowing it all up and starting again, maybe the guys won't have the upside that Nedeljkovic does. Maybe we should have kept him. But he let in a lot of soft goals in the playoffs that really kind of cost us in the Tampa series. So, if we get, will it be Rata or the other goalie we got, Anderson, if one of them can catch fire and do well, move on from there till we develop one of these young goals we have that's going to be a couple of years or more. We'll have to go from there. The one player I'm really going to miss this summer that left us, that hurts the most, more than anybody else, was Brock McGinn. He was a UFA, undrafted free agent, and he went to Pittsburgh. To me, more than Fogle, because we got something for Fogle. Bean, evidently the team wasn't high on him. They got rid of him. Geekie, they signed him to a 1-year deal. I think they were trying to squeak him by. Hamilton, I know he was a big thing here, but the money he got doesn't really help. But, getting Svechnikov was huge. Getting Martinick in here was big. But McGinn's a guy I really think we wanted to come back. And Pittsburgh paid him. They didn't really overpay him. But I think that's the one that got away that hurts the most. It kind of hurts our depth. Now, it's time for the youth to move up. Jake Drury, a center. We're looking at Seth Jarvis, a forward. Ryan Suzuki, forward. Jamison Reese, forward. Dominic Bach, forward. A lot of forwards in the center, not really bringing up the defensemen any. I'm talking about it all. They take longer, and sure not bringing up a goalie yet. But we're hoping a couple of these guys like Drury and Jarvis, maybe Suzuki, maybe 2 of those 3 guys can actually be on the main squad this year. We'll have to wait and see. And hey, we got $4.5 million left on our cap. Dundon might not want to spend that, but let's keep an eye out. I know Eichel's still out there from Buffalo. I don't know if we're really going to touch that, but Tarasenko for St. Louis is still out there. And maybe we can get some of them to bottom of the roster and trade him in a draft pick or so. And maybe we can bring Tarasenko this way to play for the Canes. And you know, he'd eat up a few $1 million. And that's just wishful thinking. But I think we do need one more headliner on this roster to see what happens. So, folks, what do you think of this video? What would you like to see the Hurricanes do this off season? Is there a certain player you'd like to see us add? Who did you regret to see us lose? And are you excited about Svechnikov's contract? Leave me some comments, pound that like button, hit that bell notification to be notified of future videos like this, and by all means, folks, subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. And we'll see you next time on another edition, Carolina Sports Guy.